Good morning from here and very warm welcome. It feels like a long time since we were together, but this option always to be connected with this practice and churning experiencing being the theme, and it feels connected to every topic. And I'd like to just check the sound is fine and the translation is working. You can just indicate. Great. And nice sometimes to think of how the worldly, the quotes from the ordinary world, and this one by Einstein. If I had an hour to solve a problem, I would spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about the solution. I wonder what comes to your mind if it resonates. And sometimes in these sessions, it feels like a lot of time goes into the diagnosis, understanding the situation, that crossing the line, understanding the dynamics and the players. And once it's understood, in a sense, the transformation part is actually very easy. That's what came to my mind. And maybe another angle by Niels Bohr, who's physicist, said, every great and deep difficulty bears in itself its own solution. It forces us to change our thinking in order to find it. So if that resonates as well, the body consciousness within itself has its own built-in mechanism. It creates pain, it helps us to change the posture. But such an interesting aspect that it can be catalyst for change also. So going to see if we hand over now, and welcome as always your sharing of your experiences or churnings. Good morning, welcome to Prashant. Hello.
Hello and good morning, and appreciate the interest in experiencing. That is the essence for a spiritual life, and we are going to see these two sides. One is the experience, and other is keeping the expansion. One side is the essence, and other side is the expansion. To begin with, let us create few moments, few minutes in the essence. And our whole idea of the experience becomes relevant when we use the best sight. Otherwise, everyone is experiencing something. When you use the sight, we are able to see the world right way up. It's a huge shift. We are able to see the real world. And just for maybe a minute, we stay in the experience of our world, our home. There's nothing else. Even when we are hearing the words as if they are in the background, we do not lose sight of our world, the light of our world. Now, this is the region far, far beyond. Region of light and color. We see the reality of this. We see the importance of this. World of light and color. Region of complete silence. And as we prepare to come in the world of sound, world of actions, we come as guests. We come as observers. Thank you. So we'll come to our whiteboard. And these are the areas of reflecting, churning that is happening in the world in an intense way. Like people are writing articles, they are writing books. So much churning is going on. And what's the difference between their churning and Brahmin churning? What's the difference? What would you say? Like the political commentators and their advisors and experts, they are all intensely churning. They get prizes also for their.
Someone has written intellect. I don't know if that implies maybe a broader perspective of the larger journey, and in that context. In here, it's reflection, churning for internal change rather than changing the drama or someone or something. Here, it's based on truth, because everyone thinks they're turning on truth, but yes, and awareness, the awareness of who I am. Churning is in the box. BK churning is the idea is to come out of the box.
Yeah, excellent. It is like if someone is seeing an elephant and he's seeing the tail of the elephant, he wants to help the elephant, but he can only see the tail. And the other person who knows the whole elephant can see the forest and can see the man who is looking after the elephant. He can see the whole scene. And he can see other elephants. And then he wants to help this elephant. He is in a better position. Whatever he's thinking of solution, it has got some results and benefit. If you only see the tail of the elephant, your benefits will have limitations. Can be futile. Your whole idea of solution, maybe waste of time. In the Gita, there are some lines, and those lines say, their ideas of love is in vain. It is wasted. Their ideas of work and progress and achievement, everything is in vain. Why? Because they are not seeing the full map. If you are seeing just a tail, and then they are progressing, they got the advisors, they got churning. Your first step is you are seeing the bigger map. That changes the game. And when you see the bigger map, you are seeing things the right way up. Now you are seeing whom you want to help and whom. You are seeing the real player. Can you believe this? That there are all the advisors and experts, and they get prizes, and they are just seeing the Cinderellas in the drama. They don't even know that there are actors behind. We use the image of camel and elephant, and there are those who are acting in this, actors. We said Mary is acting as a camel, and who? Anna is acting as elephant. So there's Mary and Anna, they are acting in the drama. And when we are with stone intellect, it's such an emphasis on camel and elephant. They're trying to solve the problems of camel and elephant. That's why it is in vain. Their efforts are in vain. Their ideas of progress is in vain. Their ideas of love is in vain. They cry for nothing. They express sorrow for nothing. Very accurately mentioned. Now you are understanding the bigger map. You at least know that behind camel and elephant, there is Mary and Anna, and they are the ones you need to be thinking about. They may be thirsty, they may be hungry, they may have some problems, health problems, pain. They need attention. So here we have to ask, are we awake to this? Today's Murli was around this, be the angel. You're the angel. Angel, soul conscious souls, they are angels. If the invisible actor is conscious, then you are in a different world altogether. Your reality is different. Angels, they don't waste their time. Their thoughts, everything is instant, great value. When they were in that full delusion, they are wasting their time. An angel, it is a huge thing. Angel, these are not words we normally hear in the world. Then the game starts. Our churning is based on experience. It is not just keep thinking. First we have to check if the basics are right. If the raw material is right, then the end product is right. Those who prepare the soup know that soup is as good as the ingredients in it. So also your churning will be right if you got the basics right. And there are in science, there are certain things they will say, we don't know this factor, so we can't take it further. We need to know all the basics, then we can take it further. We may have to work more. You don't continue on some false premise, then your churning also goes to another level. For Brahmins, our churning should be based on Murlis and trying to understand the Murli. Sometimes check if the translation is right, what's the context in which that was spoken. Some areas, important areas, worth checking the right message behind it, and then your foundation is right. You hear certain things spoken by other Brahmins. Internally, the checking is, has Baba said this? Would Baba say this? That should be the checking. Is it in alignment? Baba is having seen the whole elephant. He is Parasnath. So he knows the full map. That is what makes a difference. That's why he can with full authority say, golden age, guaranteed next phase is heaven, and whole human race going to be freed, and Jivan Mukti is guaranteed. He can say this because he knows the full picture, authority then. And in that mirror, everything else stands out. And so it is safer, to churn on that. If we mix it with some things here, some things there, then the basic ingredients can be questionable. Basic premise that you have got, it may be questionable, or your interpretation of it. The person who says can be one thing, but the way you interpret may be different. Sometimes people say, so and so was quoting so and so, and what is the meaning of this? It is, you can't even begin to take it further. One philosopher says, we are in the world where there is confusion of tongues, means confusion of words. So moving away from that, and we are lucky to get this direct access to the Murli, and based on these simple things, come into the experience. It will be nice to hear some thoughts from you before we create time for more experience.
So no more quotes?
Yeah, well, let us hear, but first let us hear from others.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to hear.
whilst others are churning and sharing in due course. I had a question. You mentioned not to draw on information from outside. So does that mean no more quotes?
Now, quotes are good, but what happens with the quotations? They are not your material of churning. This various quotations, like today, if we hear Einstein or if we hear Niels Bohr, it's something that is obvious, obvious realities of human nature. They just highlight it. It is not something new insight. He doesn't tell us about God, or if he is saying something about God, then I will question it. But these are some basic things, obvious things we hear.
Yeah, it's a kind of a cross-reference or orientation. Merli itself is drawing inspiration from imagery like stars and flowers and moths and boats and steamers, and that inspiration gives also richness to the Merli. So in the same way, would you say this is like we create parallels and analogies? This is helpful for Churning?
Of course, yes. Like stories and many things in this world. These are like gives us some realities, they gives us insights into how things exist. Analogies, nature's analogies, what happens in nature.
Someone's asking, our intellect is vast and unlimited. So I don't know how it's a question. We see with loving kindness like angels. It's asking, is that correct? It's a reference point to check if we're churning, right?
And all along, we need to know there are two sides within us. There is a Pattar and there is Paras. Our starting position is very, very Pattar. And we are very much into the camel and elephant, that level. Our ideas of even compassion, love is all at the camel, elephant, at that level. That is why Baba has to say, come into the alokik and avyakt. How long does it take? Without mixing, that is the challenge. We are into the camel and elephant world. Why? Do you want to tell why? In spite of knowing all this, why are we still dangling in the camel and elephant world?
They're still mixing the role and soul. That appears to be the main reason.
We are still mixing because there is a stubbornness of the ego. Ego is there. Ego is created based upon the camel. That you are such a nice camel. And then camel becomes spiritual. That is, ego continues there. And everything is projected at that level. And when Baba says, know that you are an angel, this ego continues to it has no problem saying, I'm an angel, I'm an angel. Then that is a mixed, that is not what Baba wants you to change. Just put another label and still dangling in the camel level. Baba wants you to wake up, the invisible actor. Baba wants that invisible actor to wake up. But for him to wake up, this camel identity, this ego that is there, that has to die. And the ego has to go, and that is where the real effort is. So it gets mixed. Now let us, how do you deal with this? So ego has to die. Ego is, this false identity, ego, is the one that blocks the experiences also. All the spiritual experiences, if they are not in a deep way, sometimes there are meditation commentaries and all, and we can sort of, that is not the aim of Baba's, Baba's method. Just listen to some words, and at a word level, just I am, in the world of light and love and happiness and light going everywhere. Just you do this, speak these words, or listen to these words. That is not going to bring about deeper transformation, because ego can do this commentaries, speak these commentaries, listen to the commentaries, and still continue in the same old level. The shift Baba wants is the invisible angel, for him to become conscious, and then everything is easy. When it is soul based, then the experience is natural. When it is ego based, there are no experiences. So let us create some opportunities, some practices now. And let us use this opportunity today as an effort for the whole next 2 days. Today, tomorrow, whatever we may be doing, and that even if we are involved in the Rockic work also, that let us aim to have this behind the attention, that we are going to experiment with few things. And one we are going to experiment with is concentration, power of concentration. Just as Baba said today, in the game of 1 second, go there in 1 second, not 2 seconds, 1 second. In the same way, in our efforts, the game of concentration makes a big difference. So these next few minutes, we are going to experiment with our some starting position where we are at. We know there is one side is the story, other side is our world. We know this. So we are having the 4 steps practice right now. Step 1, we call it realization. This is not a final stage, this is the first stage. And we are just realizing that there is a bigger elephant. It is a bit like that. The tail is not the whole thing, there is a bigger elephant. So here we are realizing there is a physical world, but that is not the whole thing. That is just a story. That is the real world of actors beyond. And this is an eternal world. It is subtle and eternal. And in this world is the family. They are all like tiny points. We are just realizing it. Not a deep tapasya, just realizing how amazing that is. Something like this we never thought of. Now we are realizing. And in this family is the true self. Real me is also that tiny point. And they all are from the family of God. And they all come in this theater. It's a theater, it's a fixed, it is like a three-dimensional film. Nothing can be changed in that film. These invisible players, they are invisible observers of this film, watch the film and they come back home. They're just realizing it, seeing quite amazing. This family, they are very lucky. Their natural nature is like childlike, just like children. They are taken to watch a circus and they come back home. Everything is safe for them. They are kept safe. Same here. These invisible players, they are like very, very special, noble family, children, happy, content, innocent, carefree. There is no real reason for them to worry about anything. They are totally beyond harm. Nothing can harm them from anywhere. And they can be so carefree and innocent. Everyone is lovely, loving, and lucky. We are just seeing this. It is not a deep meditation, just what we speak about, what we know. We are just shining light on this. Now, step 2. Okay, we understood all this, but what we are also understanding, this ego is there, and as long as we have the environment in our mind, the environment is around the story, that absolutely supports the ego. So if we want to change, if we want to favor the soul, if we want to get the angel conscious, then we have to change the environment. Otherwise, it just becomes an ego-based effort. Ego can say, I am an angel, I'm an angel. So here we have to change the environment. Which environment? We need the spiritual home, supreme home, that environment. And beautiful thing is we have got a function called attention. Attention is like a torch. You can direct it where you choose. Just like we got many functions in our mind-brain level. So here, this attention is one function. We can direct it, take it to the supreme home. And it can be in a second. And we come in this supreme home and stay in that experience with concentration. Great time to understand that this is the dimension beyond the physical. It's a region of light, but it is a region beyond the physical. In other words, during this minute when we are experiencing the home, there are no thoughts of the story. That is all. Later I can come whatever thoughts. But during this minute, no thoughts of the story. Attention is towards the region of light. We see this region in gentle red color, like an evening sky. Even though we hear the words, we do not let go of the experience of light and color. This is a region that is timeless. This is real, not just a meditation experience. This region is important. It is the home. Step 3 is engagement. And in this step, as if we are in that light and the color, the light and the color is all around us. This is the home of the family. Home of everyone. All are like living stars here. all belong here. This is the true home of everyone. All are immortal, all are noble. They need nothing for their existence. We know the personalities. They are naturally desireless, egoless. Ego, desires, they are all in the story. It is department of the ego. They are themselves egoless and viceless. What remains is life of silent bliss and contentment and love. Everyone is like this, all and always. This experience, this attention, and this environment favors the true self. True self becomes conscious. True self is the invisible layer. For him, it is normal to be the point. Normal to be so independent from the story. Finds it very strange to mix his life with the story. Knows that he is very, very lucky. So also everyone is lucky. He knows this alaukic. He is awake. He knows of his alaukic world. He knows he belongs to this supreme sky, belongs to this great family. He knows, and he can say that all are angelic souls. He is the angelic soul. He can say this. He just knows it. All along, he also knows it is completely independent from the story. Story is as if it's the world of clay and clay dolls and whole thing get dismantled, and dolls disappear, and all the glitter and gold, everything disappears. The invisible player is the invisible observer, is the invisible angel. He understands truth is beautiful. Truth is immensely beautiful. To begin with, his life is with God. His whole incorporeal, that dimension is so vivid and normal for him. He himself is like a point. So the supreme friend is also like a point. But presence and personality that is wisest, always paras, wisest and holiest. Totally free from that confusion. Remains free from the story. Never deceived in that story. That's why wisest, holiest, loveliest. The invisible angel, he knows the eternal bond. Bond is with everyone. The bond is eternal and close. It is based on immense love and equality. The relationship is like this. Everyone, and it is eternal. The invisible angel can accept this, see it, knows that this exists, knows the worthiness of it, and has a right to it. He belongs here. He belongs to this region. At every level, he understands this truth is immensely beautiful. Self, we are talking about true self, the angel. Even to use that word, it is a big thing. But this is a family, race of angels, angelic souls. Such is the truth. Natural state is like this. clean. Inside out, they are clean. It's a life of auspicious thoughts, auspicious feelings. Because there is everything is auspicious. Everyone is good. Everything is good. And the story, what is happening in the story as it is happening, it is good. Because it is a story. And there are so many stories in the world. So also this is another story. There is not a feeling of some intensity. That is Ravan's feelings, ego-based feelings, questions, why, who, everything becomes intense. Whereas the invisible player is 100% free from the story. Feelings are not mixed. That's why light. Many things happen in the physical level. There may be war and destruction, but invisible angel remains light. Because it is a story. If the angel is conscious, then his life is auspicious. Auspicious feelings, auspicious thoughts. To be conscious in all situations, that is might. This light and might. Might is required to go beyond the gravity of that world of clay, to go beyond the ego, stubbornness of the ego. Then you need might. And all of that helps the invisible player to remain conscious. And every second you are conscious, you are contributing to the light. You are creating light in this alokik world. That world has always been there, and it is our world, and it is our choice whether we experience this wonderland or we let go of this wonderland and stay in the world of clay and spend our whole time there. That is our choice. The invisible incarnate invisible angel comes in the physical world as an invisible incarnate. And he comes in the physical world anytime. And his attitude is as if he comes there with the permission of the Supreme Father, based on the Srimad of the Father, directions from him for a very clear purpose, task. And what is the purpose? What is his task? His task is to reach the invisible actors. There are many, many things that can be done in the world. There are so many charity works. But the task of the invisible incarnate is to reach his invisible brothers. It's a very specific task. To bring light to these invisible brothers. So that they can be freed from that spell. They can be freed from that sticky web, from that world of clay. And they can be revived, become conscious again. And they can experience their wonderland. They can also discover the angelic truth. So all of this, the vision is we are seeing the invisible angel, we are seeing the invisible brother. Vision will have power if we are seeing that. If the invisible angel, invisible incarnate, if he is using the eye's mind, then there will be power in that vision, drishti. Revive the other person, revive the invisible brother. The invisible player, he knows his life is a noble life. It is like a huge privilege. Life with the celebrity of the celebrities. Some other people like to be with some royals, with some celebrities. Here is the one who is King of Kings, who even makes the kings of heaven. So you already got this companion, friend, and he is also the wisest and the holiest. It is also the world of the family. They are all noble and divine beings. They all look like tiny points, but they are noble, they are divine. They are safe, they are immortal, childlike and godlike. If anyone is so safe and beyond harm, they are naturally innocent. That's why they're childlike and they're naturally godlike. All are like this. That's why all are lovely, loving, and lucky. We are just seeing this. The invisible player is just aware of it, but that creates light. So, what a life! In a life where there is the world of celebrities, world that is beyond harm, world of divine beings around, a world of love and happiness, perfection all around, perfection in others' mind. There is auspicious feelings and thoughts. We are in truth and this sweet bond with God and company of God. And just being in this silent celebration, we are calling using the word yoga, and it is just a celebration you are experiencing. In that you are contributing to the benevolence. Huge shift. There is what is the highest karma? There can't be a higher karma than this. And for a few minutes you are staying here, you are contributing to huge benevolence. Lighthouse, might house. As we prepare to come back in the story world, we use these words because our program is for the next 2 days. We use the words. The physical world is a world of clay. It is a story world, and world of dolls. It has got a script, fixed script, and the script will continue by its plan. It's a foreign world. It is not a issue for us. Just like there are so many drama companies, they do many things. It is not our problem. They may show a horror drama also. That is not our problem. So also here, there is a drama going on. It is not our drama. It is a drama. The invisible incarnates come here to free the invisible brothers. And that duty is independent. they have option to carry this out regardless of the script. The drama and script and world of dolls, that is going on. It is like a backdrop. The task of the invisible players is alokik. Thank you. Yeah, even as we come into sound and drama continues, world of play that continues in the backdrop. Right now, here Prashant is talking, that will continue by the script. At the same time, the invisible incarnate, we are catching hold of this. An invisible player, and he is the invisible actor, but we also keep this attitude of the incarnate. Incarnate has a very clear mission. And for these next 2 days, we remain focused. Our experiment is with concentration. We have a clear aim, and in a second, means we are staying in it. If you, anytime you see you're out of that space, come back the same moment. That is the game of a second. You want to add anything?
Appreciate the momentum. All we need is contrast, I think. And then it's easier to see when there's some intensity in the story. That's the checking. So if the invisible angel knows it's a story, he's naturally light. So the thoughts are not getting affected by the tragicomedy. Someone has written, too slippery. I was thinking contrast is a big tool in this, though, because then we've got the handle on it, even concentration to see perhaps a contrast in even myself before we started. There was a scattered. I can see myself, it's changed. So this can be helpful. There aren't any other questions, comments right now.
Yeah, sure. In our practice, we saw that auspicious thoughts and auspicious feelings. Today also Baba said, questions, why, how, who. Those questions, that is going in the department of waste. It's like a time wasted. In the world of dolls and world of clay, it has got a script, and the doll is jumping one side, doll is jumping to the left and right, it stands upside down. If you are standing there, why, who, 1 minute you are spending there, why, who, then 1 minute less with God. The one who has a duty of the lighthouse and lighthouse, for them it is waste. In a logic way, say if they got a duty, it's limited time. Every minute you have opportunity to earn, $1,000. You are in such some special opportunity, and then you spend 1 minute stopping. You're questioning why, where is this dog, where this dog came from. That 1 minute is wasted, big loss. So here also 1 minute more with dog, 1 minute less with God. Ordinarily, for ego, that is his world. He cannot stop. His churning is on the dog, why, who. He has special analysis and meetings. For the invisible angel, his time is in the alokik. If the invisible angel is conscious. So for these 2 days, our aim will be that less of this why, who, how. Truly nothing matters. It is not your world. It doesn't promise you anything. It is not your story. It's a story. If you feel it is my story, then it is ego saying this. Camel, elephant, that story is not your story. It's a story. So this, as was said, ego-based effort, then you are mixing it. You feel it is my story, I have to change that story, I have to bring this spiritual power to solve problems of the camel. That is all ego-based language. Here, you are busy taking others out of that world of clay. That is the mission of the invisible incarnate. So I'm an angel, that is right, but let the I, the true I, be conscious. And then he says, I'm the angel. We are emphasizing on the experience. Once the experience, you are experiencing, this alakik. Not ego-based, we said ego is the one that blocks. You bypass the ego. Ego has not disappeared. That ego disappears, that is a karmatit stage. If Ravan is not there, that is a big achievement. But at the moment, we have the option to bypass the ego. That's all we are doing. To avoid just some language that takes us into the ego smriti. And then what happens in a nice way when you are in the alokik dimension, then experiences become natural, alokik experiences. Because ego was the one that was blocking it. And once you have experienced, then that your churning then has different raw material. You know something. So it is coming from knowing rather than some words. If it is just words, even from Murli, there is a room for you to interpret one way or the other way. But when there is an experience, it becomes very clear. Yes, no, something like this. The important factor in churning is experiencing. Happy if we are to meet in the rooms and continue with churning.
Yes, it sounds good. Do you have a question to create the right kind of question, not the why, for the churning in rooms?
What is it that helps us in experiencing, and what are the things that help you in churning? Yeah, both.
Yeah.
The personal experiences.
What are your personal? Yeah.
What works? What has worked for you?
You want all the tips and tricks. So I just put it in the chat. Probably something to reflect on a little bit. So we're very happy to welcome you in the room, and just a reminder to also give everyone a chance to share, and see you back just over 10 minutes. Thank you. Lovely to see you all. Such a sweet feeling in the rooms, and we'd love to hear. There was like a toolbox there of ideas, and do feel free to share. Let's create a pause for coming back to the essence. You. So not seeing any comments yet, but it'd be great to, have any sharing. Also, you can use your language. We can use Google. I'll just share from here some images. I personally find images helpful for churning. Here it says churning for awakening is at the actor level, not at the camel and elephant level. So I was thinking the subtlety of this churning is not based on the performance of the character in the drama, not the checking mechanism. It's not based on appearance. I think Maya can sometimes trick us into this kind of mixing. So clean, independent actor is the basis. So that's one aspect came up. And the soup, I really like this. Quality of the soup is determined by the quality of its ingredients. The same goes for the quality of our yoga. Depends on the quality of the churning input. going to Italy and seeing how quality ingredients are. You just need one or two things with the quality ingredients of the food, and it's like simple, but you get the product. Whereas my cooking was always put 10 things in to try to make it taste like something. So I was thinking like just really quality thoughts. You don't need like many and going, you really get the extraordinary results. So that's my churning on the soup, but perhaps there's more to go with that. And really nice that make it easy, creating the environment which awakens the angelic soul. And why is it we should do that? Exactly. What were your feelings? And one aspect, if we think of the drama, it feeds the ego. He's an addict of the drama. See, this environment awakens the soul. And invisible angel is light because it's a story. Angel has auspicious feelings and auspicious thoughts. For me, it was a checking, like even I have to do the Zoom call, is there a little feeling of like a little stress, little compulsion, a little anxiety, like a sort of an anxious happiness, like a wrong excitement, these checking in the drama during the day, what is the energy behind? It's helping us to see what is conscious. So is there a little intensity in the story? I think that's it. Thank you. Welcoming back Prashant, and
Thank you. It'll be nice to hear some other quotes and some revision of old quotes also.
yeah, this time we went to town. There's a lot. One thing that Nietzsche said, he who climbs upon the highest mountain laughs at all the tragedies, real or imagined. Quite an insight. Even he was not necessarily seeing he didn't know the big map, but it has resonance. One thing, Leonardo da Vinci, he said, iron rusts from disuse. It's like Prashant doesn't cycle much, so his bicycle is getting a little rusty in the garden here, for example. Stagnant water loses its purity and in cold weather becomes frozen. Even so does inaction sap the vigors of the mind. Could be difficult for translation, but this feels we need that movement, right, for freshness. A comment in the chat, words that were declared useful in the group were guest, traveler, and the rest. But that as words, they promote the observer mode to cut us out of the story. Traffic control is effective, reminding us we are asleep. Yeah. Or hopefully reinforcing being awake too.
Thank you. Very useful. Let's create one more minute of attention. And it is nice for us to be aware. We want to experience, but our aim is to bring about this big shift that Baba wants us to bring. And that is at Alokik. invisible. That is our world. If we are dangling in the physical level, that is a foreign world. There are penalties when we are dangling in that way. That is the reason we have to come out and take others out. Just coming out means having a different attitude. And this moment, the invisible witness is conscious. It's a game of a second, invisible witness. Then we check this. And using the language, other side is the world of clay. And that includes everything that we can see. It is all world of clay. And clay dolls and clay gadgets. That creates a distance. You are able to see the contrast is more clear. Helps to stay in the alaukic more easily. And once we are in that side, that is world of God and world with God, and everything else follows. Recently, Baba used the language love, love for others, and love is a very important experience for all of us. We don't want to get into the love in an ordinary sense, and then the ordinary love is Ravan's love. 100% of all these songs that exist in the world, they're all in the camel and elephant world. So that is not what we are talking about. But if the invisible witness is conscious, his life is of love, immense love, because he knows greatness of everyone and harmlessness of everyone. Some of these factors are very relevant to experience love. Otherwise, ego within us can love only if it is made secure. Security is important. But when we are beyond the story, you're totally beyond harm. And everyone is harmless. They are godlike, childlike, just like children or some even young ones of animals. You feel love for them because they are harmless, and you, out of love, you want to protect them, you want to give them, you want to benefit them. But here, everyone is harmless, everyone is childlike. We grasp this at a alaukic level first. This applies to humans, animals, all. They all are souls, and they all are good. They are harmless. But to begin with, they need nothing. They exist without needing anything. And if they need nothing, they are less likely to harm you. In the drama, they all have different parts. Animals also got different parts. That is part. But we are first tuning in at the subtle and the alaukic and the real. We are into truth. And then we come in the world of clay. And in the world of clay, that drama is in the background. Behind the dolls, associated with the dolls, are the invisible actors. That the same our brothers, they are here in the drama. The one you said they are divine and royal and childlike and godlike, they are the same ones here. We we get this invisible incarnate. How does he see? What does he observe? What does he experience? And this is our exercise for the next 24 hours. We are in the world, we are going to see different characters. And some camels may be creating problems to you also, actually experiencing maybe, anger or whatever. But that is not your invisible brothers. The invisible brothers are harassed by Ravan. It is invisible brother is not even conscious. Is ruled by the enemy. So what you are observing is the enemy, Ravan. So you are experiencing 1%, your brother is experiencing 100% of that enemy power. But our task is to free the brothers from the enemy. You are not mixing. You are not saying, my firepower is not against our brothers. We want to free the brothers from the enemy. That's why love continues, benevolence continues. But you are very clearly understanding the enemy has to be stopped, and they have to be freed. That is the task of the incarnate. To create this environment of light. Light and might is what others need also. Then we are experiencing true love. Otherwise, we don't want to continue in the Ravan's love. That is taking us in opposite direction. But we first get ourselves right. We have to let the posture be right. That's why I said we all want experiences. Ravan also offers experiences. But when our posture is right, then these experiences are benevolent experiences. They purify us, they purify others. It is like a godly love, Paramatma Pyar. Love of souls for souls. Baba calls it Paramatma Pyar. It is like God's love, spiritual love. And this is like a huge luxury. Love, happiness, these are big things. And in this case, when it is spiritual, it is purifying us, purifying others also. They're benevolent. Just fine tuning, getting the direction right. There's sometimes some example. Someone give an example. In your garden, there are flowers and there's fragrance and colors and butterflies, and there is a dance going on. Everyone likes to see these butterflies. Same garden, if you go down, There are stones, there are slugs, there is mud, maybe it's not fragrance, or something else there. Same garden, same area. Just you move a little bit up, you are experiencing one world. Go down, you are also experiencing, but experiencing slugs and stones and mud and dirt. Same happens here. And the world is world. And the question is, what level I am staying? What am I experiencing? And that if I go down, consciousness goes down, and I use the image again. If I go at gross level, then there are slugs and all are there. Slugs, snails, different creatures. And they will have their own feelings and emotions and actions also, their ideas of what is progress. So full, full of ignorance and confusion, but fully determined to act. And some of these ego are stubborn also. In spite of that, we have to create this 1 minute. Some determination is required, decision. But we have to bring about this shift, come to the higher level. Instead of staying at the level of the slugs and snails, come to the level of butterflies. And then you are seeing everyone is so wonderful. They are angelic and they are divine beings and they all are childlike and they are all godlike. They are visiting also. They are from the supreme home and they are also visiting. But your positioning is different. You are seeing something higher. Your life changes, your quality of life. Your world is of fragrance and butterflies and dance and happiness. That becomes your life. But even more, you are contributing to the benevolence. I'm an angel, but angels should lead to angelic benevolence. So lots of things for the homework for this week, today program. As was said, whatever we are doing, maybe doing Lokik work also, we can keep this aim. We have to stay above the ground in the world of butterflies. Yep. You might like to add anything, say anything.
While others are reflecting, I really like this image, the same garden. I think for me, let me know if this sounds right. Lots of thoughts go to others ordinarily, what someone is doing, what they said, what they might be thinking when we are at that level, because our security is often based upon, the proximity of others, as if we're trying to belong in the camel world. So if the thought comes, it could be a prompt to come to the invisible actor, as if the environment, change the environment in that space. You're also the idea, you also seeing the independence of the soul from your own part. So awaken that, giving a name to the soul as I feel helpful to keep them separate. So if the mind does go to what camel said or did, or what camel might be thinking, then use it as a tool to see the actor.
Yeah, nice. So let us create another couple of minutes in the world of butterflies and flowers. Now we all have the sight and the intellect. We got the best, and the universe is the best. Naturally, things are the best. We have the option to see it upside down, but universe is the best. Truth is beautiful. And in this environment, with the right intellect and sight, the true self is conscious. And the true self is subtle. Like the Father. Today Baba said, your stage, let it be like Father Shiva. Actions like Father Brahma. So Father Shiva is always incorporeal. Never mixes his life with the world of clay. And he knows of his immortality and his home. That is clear to him. If he comes here, he knows as things are taken on loan. It is so free. Never, anything can never be mine. So same applies to the invisible self. True self is like a incorporeal. And he has his world, he has his family. It is natural for him. He also knows he has got a best. It is a supreme home, eternal home, great family, divine family. It's a world of happiness and love, silent celebration. This is the life of the true self. And just in being awake, he contributes to the benevolence, whether in the sky or on earth. He knows this extraordinary truth that continues always. Invisible self, true self, remains conscious. Thank you.
Thank you. Finish with a drill from Madhavan. Beautiful to connect to this, the words from Bapdada. And we'll meet again tomorrow. Thank you.